right, here we go on Instagram first. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunrise Day. Back your face.
Yeah, I would never do that on television.
Is that one of the most
yes,
embarrassing things you've ever done?
Well, I'll do it on Instagram. Anything's doable on Instagram.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunrise
Facebook.
Extra, our live streaming after show where we let our hair down a little bit.
Yeah. Your hairs are already down, ladies.
Yeah,
I
hairs.
noticed.
The hairs
Lower.
are down.
Hairs are down.
Yes.
More.
Yeah. No kidding? Are you serious? Stop it with that.
Friday, I had a moment. You guys were kind of looking down. Rod and I were live out in Tigard for our We Love Tigard week.
My eyes were on. Here's why I was watching closely, because you made a mention. Do you remember this part of it? You said, hey, look at this guy, talking about Rod.
Oh, right.
And we
You
looked
said,
up.
look at this
Just
guy.
in
So I looked up because you cued me to, and then I saw you go down.
Well, good. I made a verbal cue then because we were live in Tigard for We Love Tigard week. In the commercial break, this is what happened behind the scenes. Rod and I were supposed to be standing on Main Street in Tigard. 10 seconds before we come back, Rod decides he likes the look of these Adirondack chairs on the deck of Symposium Coffee.
Because he gets to sit down.
Because he gets to freaking sit down. There is a weird little two-step deck, wooden deck, over the sidewalk.
It wasn't weird until you tripped on it.
It was just
I've had more
normal
people
step.
tell me that they've tripped on that thing too.
Really?
So I step up there. Look, I'm doing the intro. I'm going to walk over to Rod like he wanted me to. Come to him, you know. I get up there. It's all fine.
Boom.
Then I try and bring my next foot
so fast.
up, and it stubs against the next level of the decking.
And Rod does nothing.
Can I give some play-by-play here? I'd
Yes,
like to.
please.
Can we roll one more time? Okay, Mel Hoff talking to Hill. Oh, Mel Hoff. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Mel Hoff down.
Hoff broadcasting live in where the heck was this?
Tigard.
Live in Tigard. Nina going to Rod. Oh, Nina's down. Nina's down.
The
Mel Hoff
slow-mo
is
is
down.
the best.
But Rod
And Rod
literally
casually
says,
looks away.
"Oh dear, oh Nina dear, are
And
you
then he
okay?"
says,
Doesn't
"Oh,
get up.
there was a step there,"
Thanks,
which is
Rod.
very helpful
I don't
after
think
the
Rod
fact.
saw it as well as some others did because he had
That's
his
true.
head was kind of turned at the moment in which you
Yeah,
fell.
we'll give him a benefit of the doubt.
He saw you up and then
Yeah.
he looked over and he saw
Oh,
you
look
down.
at that smirk though.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay. So to get out in front of it, I was like, I came back to the station and was laughing watching this because
Yeah,
it was
good sport about
so
it. It's funny.
funny. And I'm like, I'll just put this online. We're at 70,000 views so far
Nice.
on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, blah, blah, blah.
What about YouTube? That's
I haven't
usually
put it
where
on
you think
YouTube.
those things
Oh, I
go.
don't know,
That's
yeah.
a YouTube moment.
I don't have a YouTube page.
The station has one, or someone would have
yeah,
put that
somebody
up there,
can
I
just
think.
post it.
Great, whatever. So then
Falls.
I texted you guys, I got a message from some news bloopers website yesterday
That's funny.
asking if I could send them the HD version, please, for their 2019 compilation of news bloopers.
great.
So whatever.
That's
They also asked for when you spilled coffee on Ashley last
You'll
week
get
as well.
standard definition of that file, and that's all you'll get from
Yeah.
us.
You'll like
No HD for you.
So we are asking, make me feel better. What's the most
I
embarrassing
know, you
thing
asked this
that's
question. I have to
happened
have a
you
better
in
answer than what I'm
public?
coming up with. I don't
I
have
mean,
like
you've done like millions of live shots doing
I was just
crazy
gonna say millions
things.
of dumb things in
I thought you were
public.
going to say it too.
Well, you've had many opportunities to have something bad happen.
I know you'd feel better if I told you, yes, I've had some
would.
moments on television where things like that happen. The fact of the matter is, Nina, no.
Your pants have never fallen down. You've never tripped on, fallen on your face.
I was always putting myself in those positions to look silly, honestly. That was
Yeah.
part of the bit, right? For all those years doing those out and about segments, let's make these funny, let's have a moment. So while
you
trying
made
to
it
do
through?
that, there was it never seemed to go off the rails to where something bad happened in that vein.
What about just in life? Have you
No,
fallen down the stairs
I know there's a
somewhere?
better story than this, but I shared the story before. This was embarrassing, where I was at the Oregon Convention Center getting ready to do a Festival of Trees live shot. And this was when I was working in the afternoon, so it was like a 4 p.m. newscast.
Yeah.
And I did this walking and cell phone viewing thing. And so I walk out of the convention center looking at my phone. And
Oh,
I
this
didn't-
is when you
Yes.
smashed your head against
We had a
the thing?
live news van parked just
That's
outside.
not really public.
Well, listen.
Oh,
This is
okay.
embarrassing.
Okay.
I promise you embarrassment. So there's a flap that opens up on the truck that allows us to plug in our wires.
yes,
So that
this
flap has a
story.
sharp edge. So I walk speedily into that flap. It's like, boom. I mean, it
Metal
stopped me
flap.
in my tracks.
Yeah.
Like it just blows up instantly. Blood starts trickling down my like this.
Yeah.
And then the photographer's in the truck. He goes, "What was that?" I go, "It's my head." And he looks, he goes, "Oh my gosh." He goes, "Dude, we're on 7 minutes. And I have blood pouring
All
down
the
my
way down
face.
your face.
So I grabbed a sand, but I had to go back inside And the women that were doing the PR for this event, I had to approach them with this goose egg on my head. They just saw me 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
I was fine.
You were fine.
I have blood. I go, do you have a Santa Claus hat I could borrow
Oh,
to
to
cover
cover
up
it,
this
yeah.
freaking injury?
So you did. You
Yes,
pull- you-
but that was
you
embarrassing to walk in. Like,
concealed
what happened? I walked into a truck. How do you walk into a truck? Just
Giant
give me
truck.
just give me the Santa Claus hat, please.
Oh, Stanford wants to know, one of your biggest fans, you've never had an embarrassing moment in your Speedo on television? He's worn a lot of Speedos on
It's actually
TV.
one of my finer moments. Thank you, Stanford, for asking. One of the moments I'm most proud of. You've seen the shots.
Really? Is that-
No.
No.
Yeah, obviously it's embarrassing to put on a Speedo, but I did it consciously. So it's not like it just happened out of nowhere and I didn't see it coming.
It wasn't
I mentally
like,
prepared for
all
the
right.
embarrassment that would be my white pasty legs and a dark black Speedo.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, yes, that's embarrassing, but it's a different level of embarrassment. I can kind of hype myself up to it knowing it's coming.
Yeah.
You don't prepare
Ashley,
yourself
you
to
have
fall on a
anything
deck.
to help me out?
I can think of along the TV moment lines. I
Yeah.
know we're thinking like life in general. I'm sure I've had plenty of embarrassing life moments, but the one, because my husband still occasionally teases me about this. This was in one of. This is really. It's embarrassing.
I wanna hear it.
This was
I
in-
want to hear it.
This is in one of my first, maybe my second. I'm not going to say where it happened because my colleagues will
3
be like,
weeks ago.
oh, no, one of my first TV jobs. So I'm out at a crime scene. I'm like a new reporter going live, which I didn't at the time, hadn't gone live very many times. And you guys remember your first TV days? You're like trying to memorize like
Yeah,
your
yeah.
whole intro, everything, and you're just like
Scary.
nervous, and you're standing there with your script. And I don't know what in the heck happened, but I'm standing there and the anchors are like tossing. They're like, Ashley Corson has more, blah, blah, blah. And they toss to me. And and all of a sudden I hear like this tone kind of blare in my ear, and it distracted me enough to where I sat there and I panicked. I froze. I didn't know where I was. I looked around. I'm like, what am I talking about? Forgot everything. I had a script right there. And guess what I did? I went like this.
You
I went like that on live television.
You just
and
tried to
I
escape.
bowed out. I'm
If
so
they
embarrassed.
can't see me,
That
it's
is
not really happening.
hilarious.
It was so
And
embarrassing.
instead of like the sideways,
No,
like get out of the
I don't-
shot, you literally
I
went
like down
ducked
and
down.
over.
Funny.
And my photographer didn't know what to do. He was like, "Do I go? Like,
Do I
did you
follow
fall?
her?
Like,
Yeah.
what?" And I was absolutely mortified.
Did the
I went
anchors
home.
come in and be like, okay?
The producer's like, take package, and they like tossed to my story.
Oh my
and it went to my
God,
package,
that is
and
so
I
funny.
panicked,
Package is
and
a
I.
TV term, by the way.
Did you
Right.
save that video or you didn't even want to?
No, I was.
it
You guys,
again.
I was
Funny,
so
Ashley.
embarrassed. I went home like I was sobbing that night. I was mortified. I'm like, I'm gonna get fired. And then I tried.
You probably wanted to get fired.
I
That's
did.
pretty embarrassing.
I don't know how I got.
Did your
hired
boss say anything to
after
you, or
that.
did you go
No,
talk to
I
him?
think they kind of were like, that's okay, because the tone really did throw me off, and I think I probably used that as a
Excuse, yeah.
But I thought I was going to get fired, and my husband at the time had started dating, and he's like, he felt so bad, and now
Yeah.
he loves to tease me. But you know what? I'm overcoming, and
good
I'm
one.
sharing my story.
Hey,
Just
yeah.
kneel down on the
I
ground.
just-
and
how awful.
escape.
I was like-
yeah, hide.
We're going to keep Corslin on tape from now on. No live presence from her,
Oh my
please.
God! I don't know how I
That's
got
pretty funny.
hired here.
Can I share
Here,
a
Rod,
story?
you switch sides with
Am I
me so I
switching
can
with
get
you?
you in here.
One of our
easier.
viewers has shared a story which actually brings up another one of mine.
Oh, yeah.
But Mike
Oh, good.
James, this is a great one. Mike James says he accidentally walked into a ladies' room once, doing his business in a stall, and he had to hide out in that stall until the women left. I guess he went in there with nobody. Once he was in the stall, realized, oh, this is the women's room. Here come women, and he hid in the stall until the coast was clear.
Good
again.
move.
I have walked into a women's room before.
Oh, sure,
I've
yeah.
done that move.
Sure, we
You've
all have done that,
You think
yeah.
everyone's done that?
Accidentally, or-
Did you
I
actually?
think most people have done that.
When women were in there?
Yeah, sure, I've walked in when women were in there.
Yeah. So what do you do? I've done it.
You know,
Yep.
hey, how
You
you
gotta
doing?
make a joke about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
how
no,
you
it's
doing?
slightly embarrassing.
Okay.
Rod,
That's,
anything?
have you done anything embarrassing in public?
Well, my
Plenty
most
of things.
embarrassing TV moment was when I was working in Victoria, Texas, and the news set was up on I don't know, probably a good 2-foot pedestal platform.
Yeah.
And they had been rebuilding it. So there used to be a little guardrail on the back, but they'd taken that guardrail off and they weren't done doing work, and our chairs had wheels on them.
Right.
And at the end of the show, I just kind of pushed myself back. We're still on
God.
camera. And the classic, whoa! I went tumbling over the
My
back
God, did you hit your head or
of the
anything?
platform.
Was this recorded that we can have a clip of?
It was on the blooper reel of that station for many years.
we need to find
I mean,
that.
this was almost 30 years ago.
So like
So
black
that's
and
what I
white
have to look
video.
forward
But
to.
you
then.
just see my hands going up on the tape, and you see my feet kick straight up, and then
And then it comes
you
to
see
commercial.
no more.
That's good. Were you hurt?
No, when I was, I'm just plump enough that I usually bounce. You know what I mean? A little bouncy action there, you know.
Right off the bat, we are getting some good comments, though. I want to kind of show you some of
Mike's.
them. Lori says, when I was 13, went horseback riding with my sister and her new boyfriend. The horse took her under a thorn tree and it snagged her shirt and unraveled the whole thing.
Nice.
I still cringe when I think of it.
Oh,
that's a
that's
good
bad.
one. Especially, with an older boy present, too. Jane says, at a junior high basketball game, I fell coming down the bleachers to the main floor. Upon returning to the bleachers, I fell going up. Oy vey, yeah.
Those bleachers can be tricky.
In junior high, too, that's so embarrassing. Randall says, my pants fell down while I got off the bus. That's embarrassing.
That's the style nowadays, actually.
Tori says, yeah, exactly. Walked around a stadium with the back of my skirt tucked into my pantyhose, exposing my rear to all the baseball
Let me read this. Walked around the
Okay,
stadium with the
that
back
one
of my
might
shirt
take the
tucked
cake.
into
Yeah.
my pantyhose.
So your whole
Rear to all my
booty
wow.
is showing. Yeah, that's
All right.
embarrassing.
That's,
you know,
that would be
they're
mortifying.
Trying to get a visual there.
It reminds me of a story when our twins were in preschool. My wife was dropping them off. I wasn't there. She was dropping off the two boys, and sometimes it was not easy. They go to school now, fine, as
trying
fifth
to carry
graders.
two little
But as
babies.
preschoolers, they did not want to go, so they would cling. And so she is like trying to take one off of her body and kind of it's time to go. Meanwhile, the other guy is down there behind her, and he lifts up. My wife was dressed for
skirt.
work.
Or,
She had
yeah,
skirt on,
dress.
lifts up the skirt all the way. I mean, full cheeks are out. And my wife is like, and she turns around, and there is a dad who's down on the ground, like with his preschooler.
Oh,
and,
yeah. He
he's
looks
like,
out
looking
the
right there,
full
he's
view.
"Boom." So he's staring right at my wife's butt. And she's looking back at his eyes on
he's
her
like,
butt. And we ended up being pretty good friends with that man and his wife for still till this day.
Oh, good.
So, Courtney, I know
Because
we've
they've seen it all.
I'm sure Mia's very happy you to see.
Yeah.
But that was for her so embarrassing. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know what to say
rough.
about
Yeah,
that,
no
honey.
kidding.
That sucks.
Honey, at least you look good. No, just kidding.
Yeah, luckily I wasn't wearing a dress when I fell over on my deck. Chris, do you have any embarrassing moments
No,
that happened?
never. I've
Yes,
never
you
embarrassed
do.
myself at all.
What happened? Do you have any good ones?
I was actually just thinking about this. I was like, don't think too hard here. Don't think too hard. But what works?
It is funny.
Have you ever tripped in a race or
My
anything,
first
or
kiss.
Your first kiss?
Oh, what
Hey,
happened?
All right,
What
story
happened?
time. Do tell.
This is good.
It's really
Did your
pretty boring.
braces get
No, we
stuck?
want to hear.
Yeah, this is actually before I had braces.
Yes, sir.
What? How
And,
old are you?
Yeah, it's a good
Never
question.
mind.
How old were
Who are
you?
you?
I was old enough to be interested in having a
A
smooch.
kiss. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
What happened?
I missed.
You missed.
What?
I was like,
Kissed her cheek or
I just
something?
I just
Nose?
went in for the kill. I went in for the smooch.
Or
And
did she go like this?
no, she didn't
What body
move.
part were you trying to reach?
I was
What'd you hit?
trying to
Just
give her a no. I was
Yeah.
trying to
Where did you
kiss her on the
land?
lips.
Where did the kiss land?
It landed on the side of her face. I was like, and I missed. I
okay.
literally and she wasn't ducking. It was just like
Was
I
that
was
the
like
end for you
nervous.
two?
I was so nervous.
Did you try
And I
again?
just-
What'd you do?
Our director, Brian Matthews, said, yes, she was ducking.
Yeah, maybe she was. I don't know.
You believe what you want to believe,
Sounds
Chris.
pretty, but that wasn't like
In
until
public or
now
anything,
that
yeah.
wasn't public. That was just an embarrassing
I
moment.
need
But
to
oh
know,
well.
did you go back for the second one?
one.
Did she
Later,
see you again?
like the next day.
Okay, so she stayed with you. Wow.
I was in 8th grade.
Really?
say, "I've got
You
this."
remembered another one?
Two hit me at once.
Okay.
One makes me sound like a jerk.
Come
I don't know
here.
if I want to share
I'm
it or
gonna.
not.
Oh, please.
Yeah,
tell.
please too.
What's the other one?
High school aged. A girl was asking me to go to her prom.
Yes.
I was actually a year older than her. I guess she was probably a senior. I think I was out of high school a year, but she had called me to ask if I would go to the prom. I hit the mute button on the phone, which supposedly does not allow the
House
person
phone.
to hear you.
Yeah.
Right?
As I turned to my friend and said, the last thing I want to do is go to this girl to the prom.
Oh.
The mute didn't work?
Oh man.
I'm a jerk, right? I mean, I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah.
The mute
And-
didn't
But you were
work.
a
No,
kid.
just
You were a
honest.
kid.
Mute did not work.
Oh, no. Did she start crying or did she hang up on you? Or
I'm just
what?
going to fast forward. I actually went to that prom with her.
You did?
Yes.
Was it so?
That doesn't make me a good guy. I couldn't believe that she still wanted to go, but we had a good time.
How did she say something? I mean, how did you know the mute didn't work?
She came back and she goes, if you don't want to go, you don't have to. And I was like, oh, I said, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Honestly, I don't know how I recovered, but I remember those words, like thinking, oh my God, you can't take those back. She just heard that. It was terrible.
Did you have fun, or
I
was it
brought
super
the show
awkward
away.
at the dance?
No, it was fine. It was completely fine. We just kind of went as friends. That's all she was asking about. And honestly, I didn't want to go to the prom because I was out of high school for a year at that point. I was like, I didn't want to go. I should have just said I don't want to go.
You weren't like that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you were like the older dude coming back with the. Okay, I see your
get
point.
it.
I worked a summer job with this girl. She was just graduating. I had been out for a year. I didn't want to go. I should have said, I don't want to go to the prom.
Yeah.
But I said, the last thing I want to do is go to the prom with this girl. And
What's your other
And it
story?
came out as this girl.
The producer's
Right.
telling us we got to go move on to Kyle's
Oh,
story.
I know.
I've killed the show. The other one I've shared on this story before about how I regurgitated all over. A girl made me dinner one time. We went
yeah,
outside
on
for
your
a walk and
date.
I threw up all over the place. We can say that for. I'm sure that enters into
See, you
another
have
topic.
plenty of
I don't know.
embarrassing
one.
moments.
I remember that story because you drank like a bunch of milk or
Yeah,
something.
she made me a steak with potatoes and
whole
vegetables
steak.
and cookies.
And then you
we
drank
went
a
for
bunch
People
of
eating
milk.
breakfast right now, man. Come on.
I went for a walk with her and threw up all over like a bush. And she was, I've never seen that before. Who does that? Who eats dinner at a woman's house and then throws it up all over the place thereafter?
Drew Carney does.
It's a rough dating stretch.
That's a
right
wrap
there.
from us. You're going to talk to Kyle.
Rough
Thank
dating
you,
stretch.
everyone, for sharing your stories. I want to see this video. We got to look on YouTube
Whoa.
for Rod Hill falling
That was way
backwards.
back. That was back in the days before we even had VHS tape.
What were you doing?
It is this side.
Oh, what do tell? What is
Especially if
this?
it's on the station's reel. You okay, buddy?
Pardon me, I'm fine. Thank you.
I mean, I'm just going
Back
to
in
stay right here if
on
you're
the-
having the big
I'm
one
fine,
or
thank you.
something. Drew, will you take a walk with
I'm
me?
coming with you.
Yeah. We're just going to talk
On
to
a walkabout.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, Cameron,
What it's all about.
We're going to walk into the newsroom, talk with Kyle Aboshi about
Funny money.
Yeah.
Funny money. So this is like, at first I didn't even understand the description. He said, like movie money. I said, no, I don't know what you're talking about with
Yeah, I've
movie
never heard
money.
that either.
But apparently a lot of times on movie sets, they don't use actual money. They use fake money as like sort of a prop.
Oh, that's what they mean when
Yes.
they say movie money?
Yes, movie money
Oh,
is
I
the
thought it
fake
was
money
like
they use on the set.
a gift certificate to the theater or something.
There he is, investigative reporter extraordinaire, Kyle Aboshi, clearly working on
guys?
another story. What do you
No,
think?
I'm not. I'm showing. I was
internet
bringing. I was
pulled
bringing
up.
up the Amazon thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This is the funny money of which we speak.
Right. This
So
is the
this
movie
whole
money.
time, I thought it was like gift
Please, sit
certificate
down.
money
Oh, thank you.
No, check.
to see a movie.
We can stand. We can stand. I
But
don't
this is
care.
like prop money that they use in the movies.
Right. So the original intention was for the movies, for motion picture industry. They created this money that you've seen the
Here, Andy, come around.
Yeah,
and
this
the
see
shot in the
screen.
vault,
Okay,
right?
can't see
Or
it.
like the big chase scene where the money goes flying, and
Yeah,
they can't
yeah.
use real money. So they created this movie money or prop money. Well, in recent years, they've started to sell this stuff online, including Amazon. And as a result, police say, listen, we're seeing this stuff all over, and it's creating a real problem for retailers because people are trying to pass this off as real, which it's illegal, to
Yeah.
be clear. So if you buy this and try and use this anywhere, don't do it. You'll be arrested. It's illegal. But you just look at the number of listings for prop money and look at all these. It's crazy. And really the question we have for Amazon is why are you selling this stuff? And they haven't been responsive to our inquiry so far.
Because
But-
this, I mean, some of it looks super real.
Oh,
and
totally.
obviously, like, stores are
They're-
getting scammed by it.
Right, and the problem
because
is-
you're just, taking the bills and giving people change and.
Exactly.
All of it looks super real. I mean, that's the problem. If it didn't look real, this wouldn't be a story. No big thing. Fake money, it looks
Right,
fake,
right.
moving on. But no, they shouldn't. I mean, that seems like the simple solution. You should not be allowed to sell money that looks like the real thing, like this does online.
Exactly. I mean, so in some cases it says prop money, right? But in a dark bar, late at night.
Right.
So there was a case in Lincoln City where somebody passed one of these at a Dairy Queen. So think about it. A young person working at Dairy Queen, you got a line in the drive-through.
Yeah.
Let's get things moving.
Sure.
They pass you one of these. How much time is a person gonna be like, checking,
And they come in all denominations, not just
Yeah,
large.
20s, ones. I talked to Secret Service yesterday. They said they've seen as little as $1 bills that are this fake money.
So if you slip someone 5 ones, 3 of them are fake and 2 of them are real, like, they're not going to look at every one. Of
Right,
course not.
right.
Not in a drive-through line.
Right. And again, it's illegal, so don't do it. Don't think this is a good idea. Unfortunately, the bad guys already know about it. And Secret Service says, listen, we've been seeing a ton of this out there. And it's really, so the other thing is not only the play money, copy money, for motion picture use only, but some of them have Chinese characters, and that's the other thing to kind of be on the lookout for. We talked to a bar owner who ran into some of this stuff. And in this case, and I think this is an example.
So how much does this go for? This is
Like
10
$10
bucks to buy 100 bills.
Right. So in this case, see that the
The red.
Asian writing?
Oh, yeah, huh?
And there was a case in Des Moines, Washington, and I'll highlight their tweet, where this is what they took in. This is in October. A woman was trying to buy $5,000 in Visa prepaid gift cards with this fake money.
Jeez.
American money doesn't have pink writing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but
That's
that's an
crazy.
example, and that was up in Des Moines, Washington. We found examples in Grants Pass, Oregon, Lincoln City. There's a guy in Clearwater, Florida, who bought scratch-off lottery tickets using this stuff, and he was arrested.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
Yeah,
Clearwater, Florida is the spring training home of the Philadelphia Phillies. That's,
Florida.
right. That's why I bring it up.
It has nothing to do with
That's
this.
why I bring it up.
But you did bring up something else, the very very top of the story this morning on our Sunrise show, because I thought, when I saw this story being presented, I thought, really, aren't we just adding a play to the criminals playbook by sort of giving them a
Right.
heads up that this is happening? But you said, hey, there's another thing we have to do here. We have to
Right.
alert other people,
Right.
the good doers, if you will,
Right.
that you have to
To
be on the
watch
lookout.
for it.
Yeah, and again, I talked to Secret Service about this yesterday. I said, listen, we're doing this story. Unfortunately, the bad guys, they already know this, so it's not like we're informing them. Really, the emphasis is two things. One, awareness, public awareness. So if you're a small business owner, check the bills you're getting. If it's got this Chinese writing in the corner, if it doesn't have the security features of a real, authentic bill, don't accept it. And also, the question is, why are retailers like Amazon selling this stuff?
this.
Right? And
So
we're
are they
still
going to try and go after them and get these listings taken down?
Secret Service says they're working with U.S. Attorney's Office and the e-commerce sites to try and get these items removed. I would really like to hear from Amazon to see how they justify selling this stuff. I've reached out to Amazon twice, haven't heard back. I'm going to reach out to them again and send them the story and say, listen, now we've done the story. Why do you continue to sell this? What answers can you provide?
Yeah.
Because that really is the question. I mean, they're the retail
I
giant.
guess if it's a toy, couldn't they just argue like it's clearly? I don't know.
No, they
You know.
can't. So here's why. It's the same size as an actual bill.
Ah, okay.
So by law, it has to be either much larger or much smaller than an actual bill, and can
Interesting.
only be printed on one side. According to Secret Service, this is counterfeit.
Interesting. Okay, so they label it as counterfeit, which
Right.
is legal, which means they cannot sell it.
One of our viewers, Jennifer Hamlin, chimes in saying that this is actually going around Tri-Cities, Washington as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's widespread. Didn't you reach out to? I thought you reached out to a second online retailer that did respond.
So eBay.
Okay.
So it's for sale on eBay as well. eBay says, listen, we have specific regulations that mirror what's required by federal law. So, for example, it has to be much larger or smaller than an actual bill, can only be printed on one side. We went on eBay, which I could probably still do, and just find out. My computer's a little slow. Let me see if I can get eBay up. But eBay had some listings that didn't meet that criteria, and it was still advertised and available for sale. So even though retailers say, in this case eBay says we have specific regulations in place to prevent the sale of this item, their monitoring of it seems a little bit.
I'm curious how
We
long
have
you
a
work on-
picture of the eBay
Okay.
website up. You can see it
On the
over there on that
Facebook
monitor.
feed?
But yeah, they have. They're scrolling through some of the listings that you can see at least on Facebook.
But again, don't think this is a good idea to go out and buy and think this is funny, because
Yeah.
it's really not.
Yeah.
And you can get in big trouble. So don't.
Yeah.
What about? I'm curious when you started working on the story. This is obviously not a story you find out about on Friday and turn for Tuesday. So
Right.
how long are you working on an investigation like this?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of phone calls and things, so we need to find who's affected. So we contacted Lincoln City Police. We went out to Lincoln City, met with a couple business owners that dealt with this.
Right.
What kind of businesses were they?
So there's a Dairy Queen, there was Snug Harbor Bar and Grill, and there was the Game Over Arcade.
Interesting.
They were all hit. But the guy at Game Over Arcade said, listen, I've heard from all kinds of other people too. Safeway and a lot of other places have been hit regularly. So we touched base with them. We reach out obviously to Amazon and eBay and other. There's another site that sells it as well that I didn't mention in the story. I reached out to them, didn't hear back. And then, I'll reach out to Des Moines Police and all kinds of local law enforcement and Secret Service.
But how does it get on your radar to begin with?
Typically, I'll hear about it. I mean, most commonly, people will email me or call in with great ideas, and that's really, for me, the best way to hear what's going on if people have issues or are seeing something. And in this case, so it's not just one-off. So it's not just, we happened to hear from one store owner that was frustrated by this. It just kind of snowballs. And as you
Once
start
you
making
start
calls
digging
and you
into
realize how big an issue it is and how many people are affected.
Okay, give people your email, your phone number for Call
The
Kyle.
easiest thing is call Kyle at kgw.com.
Okay.
And you can call as well. And I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter. You can hit me up that way. I mean, really, email is honestly the best way to get a hold of me.
Because then people can kind of lay out a little bit of
Yeah,
you
and
know, what they're talking about, and
I'm
you
kind
get a- you
of
get a
old
lot.
school too because I print them
Yeah.
off. And that way I have like a hard copy.
I prefer the email as
because
well.
otherwise it just like it goes in the stream,
can
and the
sort
stream
it-
is
sort of-
Yeah.
downriver.
You could file it that way.
Yeah, like 2 days later it's like way downriver.
gone. Right.
So if I print it off, sometimes then I'll have an actual copy, and I can.
Good deal.
be
This is very interesting. I'd never really even thought about the fake money, you know, that you would use on movie sets. I thought it was like a gift certificate, you know, to a theater or
Right.
something. But I mean, that stuff is real. I mean, it looks real.
Yeah.
So
we're going to follow
yeah.
up too, because I really do think that Amazon needs to answer.
Yeah.
I think other online retailers need to answer. I mean, if the Secret Service says this is counterfeit, why are you selling it?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to, right after I finish up here, I'll email them again.
The man may just bring down Amazon.
No. but hopefully they'll take a closer look at the movie money that's being sold online.
Yeah, no kidding. Thank you so much for joining us, talking about that. And yeah, send your inquiries to call Kyle at kgw.com. All right, you guys, that does it for Sunrise Extra tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Today. We'll see you tomorrow.